Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Wow, what a special day it has been, and there's a lot happened since the last stream on Monday. There's obviously been a massive reshuffle, and things have started to move, which I think has all come as a relief, to us as fans, that we can see that things are starting to happen now, and the excitement of the season really is kind of, it's starting, isn't it? You're getting a bit more excited about the season. But yeah, obviously the excitement today has been off the scale. It all started obviously waking up to Mr. Nagel's tweet, which I think set a lot of excitement, and I'm going to put the comment up on the screen here now. And he's posted that you should enjoy today. It's going to be a great day in Huddersfield, maybe a special announcement or two or three, and maybe then some. And I thought, wow, this guy, he really did make us all giddy this morning, didn't he? And obviously that's where it all started, of course. And I'm not sure when the comment's not showing, so if you are commenting, it isn't showing. It's been weird, my StreamYard, because I did have comments earlier, but they've disappeared, so I'm not sure what's happening with it. But anyway, let's just keep going, and I think it will be all right. But yeah, it's obviously the announcement, obviously, of Neil Warnock, the gaffer. He is back. It is official. Neil Warnock, of course, has returned, and I think it's safe to say, never in our wildest dreams, even though it's kind of being one of those where at the back end of last season we've said it, haven't we, how adamant he was that he wasn't going to come back, and that was it, really. For him to come, for him to kind of, for him to be in this position where he's taking us for a full season now, it's kind of, it's crazy, really. I just can't quite believe it. Neil wants to buy me Army George says, yeah, as soon as he put that tweet out, I posted something this morning, and I was just constantly refreshing all day, mate, and looking at what were happening. And I don't think I've ever been so busy on the social media today, really, than I usually am. But I've been probably annoying people with retweeting and liking and commenting and posting things. But it's been a hectic day, and the Blue Terrace is the dinosaur. He is back. He's back, and we are absolutely buzzing for it. Of course we are. But what we're going to do, obviously, so I think we all knew the rumours started to surface, obviously, and about Neil Warnock coming back, and I know that obviously it was kind of expected that not expected, but it kind of felt like he would come back. It was just about the announcement, really. But now it's actually happened. It actually feels real. It feels real. To me, absolutely, buzzing. We all are, aren't we? We're all buzzing. And honestly, it's so emotional kind of reading the statement from Neil, especially. We'll bring it up shortly as well, and go through some quotes that have been said as well shortly. We know stability was what was needed going into this new season, especially with how tough it's going to be. And Neil Warnock brings that and more. We know this, and the fact that it's happened, it's just wow. Aiden says, made my day when I saw it. I didn't see anything for Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't see anything for that. Yeah. I mean, it's just a bit surreal, isn't it, at the moment? Everything about the club at the moment. Yeah, it does, it does. We're not used to this, are we? We're not used to things are just, yeah, it's just such an exciting time. I've never felt so excited before. Well, in a good while, anyway. I've never felt as excited as this for a good while, which is just really, really, obviously, you know, nice to actually say, you know. And yeah, so we're gonna just go on to this in a minute. So yeah, we're gonna obviously bring up some quotes as well. Now about obviously with the appointment. I did watch the comment. Very, very good. And by the way, the new CEO, the chief exec, Jake Edwards, he speaks very well. I know words don't mean anything, and we're gonna have to see how he did, but his profile and what he's done, you can tell he knows what he's talking about as well. You know, you can tell what he knows what he's talking about. Neil Warnock, obviously, he's great to listen to. I could listen to him for all day. He always has a story to tell, doesn't he? Always has something to, you know. So it just makes me smile. Honestly, the guy. How can he not love Neil Warnock? He's just incredible. So yeah, I did watch it. Yeah, one more year. We got what we wanted. One more year. But yeah, let's get some quotes now, and obviously go through these as well. So the first quote, and I'm going to take this off a moment, this comment. So yeah, the chief exec started off by saying, we've heard town fans loud and clear, both at the Reading game and ever since, you all wanted one more year under Neil and Ronnie, and this had to be our first order of business as we prepare for the new season. So yeah, we did vocalise that we wanted it, and we've got what we wanted, and you know, yeah. But the thing is, yeah, with this part of the statement, of this part, they've listened to the fans. Now, how many times, or how in the past few years, how much have we actually been listened to as a fan base? That's another thing to say. We haven't, have we? We haven't really felt like we've been listened to, or we've not really felt, you know, especially the past 12 months anyway, let's say. So the fact that they've listened to what the fans have wanted just speaks volumes, and excites me that, you know, obviously they're going to start to listen to the fans a bit more, really, you know, and that's something that us fans really value. You know, it is. That bit when you said, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm very tempted to go on a trip. Obviously, yeah, the pre-season tour in Cornwall and Devon in July. It'll be a lovely week. If only I could get there, but it seems to be very costly, so I don't think I'll be able to get there. But and it's not a short drive, is it? It's nearly 7 hours to Cornwall and Devon. So, but yeah, the things that Neil comes out with, you've got to laugh. Get the likes. Big up to you, Horace. Thank you, mate. As always, in here contributing. Hello to you, Terry Darts. I hope you're doing well. Well, there's no hope. We're all doing fine this Wednesday evening. Of course we are. It's been a fantastic day. Big up, and yeah, big up to you, mate. Big up. It was so good to see both Warnock and the new CEO today. Yes, it was, and how transparent and especially the CEO, because obviously I've not heard of the CEO before, but the CEO, like I said earlier, spoke very well. And obviously, you know what you're going to get with Neil, the gaffer. You always get, you know, full entertainment value, and great to listen to him speak, really. So, yeah, fantastic. Big up to George. Big up, Ryan. Hope you're okay. Neil Warnock is back. He is, and we're all loving it. We're all loving it, and we can't. I don't know about you, but it just still feels quite surreal. But yeah, we're going to keep going on with the quotes that was said as well. So the CEO then goes and says, Neil and Ron, you have incredible knowledge and skill as a management team. That was clear in the job they achieved here at the end of last season. They also have an amazing connection with this club and our supporters, which is also so valuable. So yeah, saying what we already know, obviously the knowledge that, you know, Neil and Ronnie have got is for all to see. what they achieved last season. Obviously, the greatest escape of them all. And yeah, they do have an amazing connection with this club. They love this club. You know, they do. They love this club, and they prove they love this club. And you know, it's certainly very valuable. And then obviously they go on to say, we're so pleased Neil has agreed to stay on for another season. I know how determined he is to build on the job he's done last season, and he offers us great experience and stability on the football side as we prepare for the prospective change of ownership. Which again is spot on again with what he's saying here, really. You know, the fact that they do give us that great experience and the stability. I said that earlier. The stability is the most crucial one. He knows the players. They know the players. He knows what they know what we need. The players know what to expect. It's all set up to be a very successful season for me, and I'm not getting carried away too much. And here we are, the gaffer, who of course spoke as well. He said, obviously, after having a conversation with Jake Edwards, it became obvious that this was going to be a difficult job for me to leave and for anybody new to come in to after what we built at the end of last season. I've agreed to stay on alongside Ronnie, and just as we did when we came back last February, we're going to try and do the best we can with our squad, and that we can hopefully make one or two additions too. Which obviously is needed, and Neil will know which players he'll want, and things, we know we know that they're going to come in and do the best, and that's all we ever ask, don't we, really? And he says we're quietly confident. I know what the club is all about, and I have to say the response, and this is where I got really emotional when he said this. He says, the response I got after those last two games is something I've never experienced in my whole life, he said. This is now a chance for me to put something back into the club and give us some stability during this transitional period. I mean, wow, this got me tearful and really emotional early when he said this. Because honestly, the last two games, the reception he got, the fact that he's never experienced it, and it's the best he's ever experienced, he deserved every bit of the positive response he got for what he has done for this football club. He's saved us from the brink when we thought we had no hope of staying up, pulling off the greatest escape that, nobody has ever done from where we were at. And the fact that he's come back as well just shows that he still wants to help, and he still feels like he wants to help and he wants to get the club to have a really good season, and it's the guy. He's just the legend, absolute legend, And of course, this tweet made me laugh. Of course, he had to have the approval from Sharon, and he said, obviously, once I knew that Sharon was okay with me continuing, I've been fully concentrated on knuckling down to do the best we can in trying to get this great club up the league. Sharon approved, and we love Sharon, and I'm going to say thank you to Sharon as well for approving. Obviously now the full focus is on. Obviously, he wants to focus and do the best he can, I love that at the end. Trying to get this great club up the league. It's fantastic to kind of, to hear those words from him as well, and So obviously Neil Warnock has returned, and I really do sense a special season coming. I don't want to say too much, but I really do sense a special season coming. And anything is possible with him in charge. Honestly, it is. The sky's the limit with this guy in charge. And I also saw, that and also something to clarify as well. The fact is that, what Neil Warnock did last season with with a pretty bad squad, his points per game had he been with us for the full season, we would have finished 5th in the championship. Now, imagine what he can do with a full pre-season and backing from the board. It's just so exciting, really. Honestly, it's unbelievably exciting. But anyway, we're going to get back into the comments because I know people have commented. Yeah, we've had that one. Ryan, you're up to a live stream doing prediction for this. I mean, I could potentially do that, Aidan, if you wanted, if that's what people want me to do, and obviously you want me to do that, then potentially, yeah. But the thing is, I don't want to jinx it. Because I did it last season and I completely jinxed the championship table. I suppose it's all good fun. It's good content to do. So, yeah, we could potentially do that at some point next week. Maybe that's an idea. And yeah, so yeah, let's do that. Ramsey says, seems like Warnock is full back in control of incomings and outgoings in terms of plays. Can't remember the last time he backed a manager. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, yeah, you've got to back somebody like Neil Warnock. I'm sorry, but I think he would have had to have known that he would have been backed in some degree for him to come back as well, if I'm honest with you, because he's not naive enough to think that he does need a few good players, a few additions to the squad. And also saying his press conference earlier, which we're going to touch on the press conference as well, a bit more detail shortly, how we need to utilise that loan market very well as well, which we have done in the past. We know in the past few years we've really utilised that loan market. The likes of Levi Colwell, coming to the club most recently. So. Yeah, we have to be shrewd with our business, and yeah, trust what Neil thinks and what he thinks we need really, and yeah, push on from there. Alex is in. Hello there. Yeah, we're all very much happy, aren't we, around here, about the fact that the gap has stayed on. This is where the excitement begins, doesn't it? But we're just going to now move on to a different topic. And we're going to talk about the CEO, because obviously, like I said earlier, a lot of things have happened over the last few days since we went live, obviously last time. Incomings and outgoings, and we're going to get on into that. But yeah, Jake Edwards is the new CEO. Just a bit of background information about him first, obviously. He's been in America for 8 years. Being the president of the United Soccer League, where obviously he oversaw the transformation of their professional divisions and led a period of extraordinary growth. He played a big part in developing the organisation business strategy as well. Increasing media rights, commercial partnerships, stadium development and player development pathways. Under his leadership, the USL grew from 11 professional clubs to 31 across 2 divisions. Obviously, he's originally from England, in Manchester. He's played football himself. Obviously, played 300 professional games as a striker in both the UK and the United States, before moving into executive roles at club level. Getting his MBA at Warwick Business School and becoming a business strategy consultant at global sports marketing firm Octagon prior to joining USL. Obviously, Dave Baldwin has now stepped down from his position, from his role as managing director, and he's returned to his original position as a strategic advisor to the club's ownership and board of directors. And yeah, obviously, he kind of went on about how he was really thrilled to be joining the club. He says, next phase of growth for the club. Having worked in professional football for 25 years, I recognise both the great honour and the great responsibility of being a part of this historic club's future. I'm excited at the prospect, at the potential to work with the prospective new owner. as well as his commitment to the club and his to the community. I'm looking forward to working with all the club staff, coach and players, and I would also like to thank Dave Baldwin for his guidance during his transitional period. Obviously, thank Dean Hall for all his help. They've given the club and the incoming team a tremendous foundation to build upon, which they have. Now, if people do want to come on and have their say on this, on anything, obviously we will open up the phones or the guests towards the end. If people do want to come on, then you are more than welcome to do so. But then also he said he was looking forward to meeting the fantastic supporters, in his words, who stuck by the club and played a huge role in keeping us in the Sky Bet Championship. I can't wait to start sharing some exciting announcements with you all starting this week. So, yeah, it sounds very, very, very promising, like the ownership situation does. And Aiden's the point he was fishing on his pond though. Don't worry, you can go fish. I mean, yeah, we've got some nice fishing. Not that I know, but I know some people that like to go fishing on the canal by Sainsbury's in Huddersfield. That's quite. I think some people do that. I only know that because when I worked there, I knew that a lot of people did it. So, yeah, there's probably some spots around Huddersfield, some canals that you can do that as well whilst he's here if he wishes. But yeah, I'm glad that Clown is going to touch upon that, and me too. And I think everybody will say the same thing. It did work, Dan, but it keeps going off for some reason. Hang on a minute. I think it's because I put those comments up. Yeah, right, it's back. Right, so we're back. But yeah, Dan, big up to you. I hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you for coming in. But yeah, so yeah, that was from the CEO's point of view. Now, Lee Bromby, when Lee Bromby was announced to be leaving, I think there was a huge sign of relief for that, because honestly, when I look back at his tenure, yes, people say that he has some good moments, and he probably did. The reality is the club put him in a position, the club put him in a role he'd never done before. And in the end, he did more bad than good throughout his time really at the club. And for the categorical mistakes last season that was made, but that is just unforgivable. It really is. I couldn't, the stability was non-existent last year. We know this. And Bromby, hiring Fotheringham, that deserves to be sacked alone, to hiring somebody like that, really. But not just that, just the countless errors that he made, the recruitment, shocking. So the communication with the fans, nothing. So it's a good. I'm glad to see the back of him, and that's putting it in the nicest way possible. I don't want to be rude about it, but he's just he's just a clown, really, isn't he? He's a clown, and we move forward from him now and hope for a better time this season. And at least somebody's seen sense. At least somebody's decided to see that he shouldn't be in that role at all. And I'm not sure he'll be getting a role in that anytime soon either, in all fairness to him. Yatin's in hello. What's up? Oh gosh, my camera went off then. I don't know what happened there, but we're back. What's up? Yeah, I'm doing very well, mate. I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you come in. Obviously, it's been a while since you came in, and yeah, I'm not doing so bad. I hope you're doing well, mate. Joseph said, I know he messed up on Foreign. I know he messed up, but I think he made some good signings. I'm glad. Yeah, he might have made some good signings throughout his time, but the reality is, like I said earlier, he's done more bad than good. And last season was an absolute disaster. It really was. And the fact that them decisions off the field nearly cost us, without the King Neil Warnock coming in, them decisions would have cost us, and would have been in League One. So, yeah, it's just unforgivable for me. I'd almost forgotten that Fotheringham existed. I wonder what he's doing now. Is it unemployed? Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't think anybody will be requiring services anytime soon. only in his own mind that he'll be thinking that people want him to employ him. But yeah, anyway, we want to talk about him. But also, I want to touch on, obviously, as well, Paul Clements, who, of course, has left the club. And I'm going to put this picture up now of Paul, because this showed the passion he had for the football club. Look at him here, And, Paul, what he did, in his time with the club, helping develop the goalkeepers he did, and just an all-round good guy to have at the club. You could tell he cared. The connection he had with the fans, it was special. We will miss him. We will miss him. But I do believe that sometimes, I've seen Warnock touched upon this in his press conference earlier. Sometimes, a refresh is needed. Obviously, Paul wasn't one of the staff that Neil Warnock obviously would have brought in if it would have been a more full season role. So Neil Warnock likes to bring his own people in, and we have to respect that. We have to trust that. But I do just want to say, obviously, thank you to Paul for his commitment, his dedication, his passion to the role. And it'll certainly be strange not to see him around the place really next season, won't it? Because he's been a guy that's been here for a good while now, and obviously, obviously he's been here a while, and it's one of those where sometimes you have to let go of people. It's not easy. But I think ultimately, though, the bottom line is people don't stay at clubs forever, do they? And I think that's what we have to look at it like, really. Things do change. People aren't at clubs forever, and that the change, unfortunately, obviously he did start at the academy goalkeeping July 2015. Sorry, spotted the first team set up before he was named head of goalkeeping prior to the start of the 2017-18 season. Obviously, he worked closely with the recruitment team to bring in new keepers as well. Everyone, obviously, at the club would like to say thank you to Paul for his hard work and dedication over the last 8 years, and wishing him the very best in his future. And I echo those thoughts. The chief executive comment on this as well. Said obviously Paul can depart his role at the club with a lot of pride in what he's achieved here. He leaves the goalkeeping department in good shape, as we look towards the new season. So special mention to Paul Clements, who obviously has departed this week as well in the reshuffle that we've had. I'm going to put the banner back on. Right, we've got another question here. Ryan, I have a question. Now we have one. Do you think we can push for the playoffs next season, or will you take mid-table? Good question. Although I said it before. What Neil Warnock did, the points per game ratio last season, we would have been in fifth had he been in the full season at that rate. And for me, like I said earlier, this is going to be a special season, and I don't want to get too carried away. I really don't. But what a story it would be if the King himself saves us from the brink in the greatest escape of them all, and then the following season takes us to the promised land, where, by the way, we have very unfinished business in the Premier League. And we know this. The way it ended in the Premier League was very sad. And we do have unfinished business in that league. And you know what? It would be an utter fairy tale if that would happen. But like I said earlier, the sky's the limit. I do believe that with someone like Warnock in charge, anything is possible. So I think mid-table, we may have set up a mid-table before we knew about Warnock. I believe the expectations have risen a hell of a lot now. And maybe that's just me thinking that on me, but I've seen a lot of people on social media as well saying the same thing about let's start the promotion party. I'm not getting too carried away. I believe that we can be in that top 6. I've answered you eventually, Aidan. I believe that we can finish in the top 6 with Neil Warnock in charge. There's no question for me. Ian Bennett's the new. Yes, he is, which I'm going to get into. It's good. Obviously, Ian Bennett's been at the club, hasn't he? Before, obviously played for the club, knows the club, and obviously worked with Neil Warnock as well. So they know each other very well, and yeah, obviously a really good appointment that for me as a new goalkeeping coach. Ramsey's aiming for top 10 is just another way of saying pushing for the playoffs, in my opinion. Last season, 6 to 10 for 4 or 5 points. I mean, it was a very, very tight. Yeah, very, very tight, wasn't it? And that's the fight. It's a fine margin, isn't it? And if we can get some players in, which we will do, with and now we know. Well, we don't 100% know, but we know to a degree. Whoever we get in that will come into the club will be the right people for the football club. There'll be people that will come in and improve the squad, and. With Neil Warnock choosing, players and who he wants to come in, the guy's seen it, done it, hasn't he? So, he will make the correct decisions for me, and we've got to trust his decisions as well. But yeah, good point there, Ramsey. Just from the YouTube video on this, I really think either a top 10 finish or head into the playoffs. Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely agree with you there. So, so there's, as we've just said, there's been a massive reshuffle and a real refresh, which we talked about before all this happened. We knew at the back end of last season, that we needed a refresh from top to bottom, and we are getting that refresh. And when you hit the refresh button, if you could say so, and get the right people in that know what they're doing at the football club. Like I can't judge the CEO in a few days. We don't really know much about him just yet. Obviously, we know his background, and we know that the way he speaks and the communication and things he's saying are really promising. Then we're starting to get people in at the boardroom level that will help success on the field. And that, obviously, and with Neil Warnock as well, and Ronnie Jepson, we've got the foundations are there. The foundations look set to be, and I always believe that success is built on a foundation. You've got to have a foundation, haven't you? You've got to have that, because if you're being erratic with your decision, there's no communication, there's no stability, you don't really know what to do in situations, and you're making countless errors, you're only going to go one way. And that proved that last season, didn't it? The countless decisions that were made wrongly, the recruitment. It can't happen again. It cannot happen to that degree. We're not going to get every single recruitment in the near future right, because that's not possible. But every decision that was being made was the wrong decision. Apart from obviously bringing Neil Warnock in, which was fine, but more often than not, the decisions that were made were wrong decisions. That was the problem. And then the on-field success, or should I say the lack of success, the on-field struggle, should I say, was for all to see. Let's go through the comments. If Nagel's 3 announcements today, I don't think we only have had once. I mean, the thing is, wasn't the little touring Cornwall and Devil announcement classed as an announcement, wouldn't you think? I don't know. Or is that not classed as an announcement? I don't know what people think about that, but I think that maybe is classed as a bit of an announcement. I don't know. But yeah, we've only had one so far if you don't want to count the pre-season arrangements. Warnock needs to be back this summer. He does, and I think that I said this earlier, Horace, that I do believe that Warnock's come back knowing that he will get backed to a degree. His press conference today, obviously, he even said, we don't have stupid money to spend, and we won't be spending stupid money. But we have a budget, and we have a budget that we will have to stick to, and we will be able to get players in that will improve the squad. We have to be sensible still, ultimately, and that's what we will do. So he will be backed to a degree, but it depends what you mean by backed. Do you mean, because a lot of people, when people say being backed, what does being backed actually mean? Like how much money are we talking that's to say we've been backed? I suppose any money being spent is being backed, really, I suppose. But some people see it differently, don't they? How they work, how they view that. But yeah, he definitely will be backed in some degree. Surely if Warnock took this job, he knew. Yeah, oh yeah, Horace, you said it. You said it. Yeah, absolutely, mate. You're spot on. And yeah, he will have had reassurances for him to come back, and yeah, absolutely, he will have some funds to spend. I think the friendly call and the home friendly were part of the announcements here. Yeah, the home friendly as well has been announced, which is exciting. That game is the day before I go on holiday, so I'll be able to go to that game. So that'll be good. So yeah, 2 announcements left. Yeah, I don't know if, like I say, Ramsey seems to think that the arrangement for the pre-season friendlies that we've had, with the Cornwall announcement, the Cornwall tour, and the home friendly as well that's been announced as well, is that class as an announcement? It probably is. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe we will get an announcement, but we've had a very busy day, so I don't know if I can take another. Maybe I can. Maybe I can take another announcement. But you know what I mean. It's been such a hectic day with everything. But yeah, we know one player who's staying, Danny Warnock. Yeah, we're going to touch upon that actually, Aidan, and obviously now, Karoma is more than likely going to be staying on as well. But Danny Ward, yeah, obviously he'll definitely be staying on, won't he? And obviously Neil Warnock spoke highly of him as well. So yeah, we're going to go to the press conference. Actually, it was just today, obviously just gone. Obviously, it was around 4 o'clock, wasn't it, this afternoon? And obviously the things that the CEO was saying, I said earlier, he was speaking very well in his press conference. And I know we need to see action as well, and obviously you have to back up what you're saying, but it does seem promising. Obviously, he kind of got into the fact that they wanted to have stability and continuity. I think that is critical, he said. So he went on to say about the transformation Neil brought to the club last season. Obviously, it does take real leadership, skill and experience to turn that around, like he said. We had a different squad at the end of last season, and Neil was able to get so much out of these players. We don't need to do too much for the squad. We'll see what we can achieve in a very tough league. He said it was important for us coming in to have continuity. To secure Neil's services is fantastic. But yeah, Nagel said there's more. Yeah, but what we're saying, Joseph, is the announcement of the friendlies classed as an announcement? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it is. Make up your own mind. Maybe we'll get surprised later on with another announcement. I don't know. Neil Warnock obviously started speaking. Obviously, he says, "I've been watching Plymouth all season. Stephen Schumacher is probably the best man in the country this year." He says about anything is possible in football. If you get the dressing room right, it is amazing what you can overcome. He also said about obviously the bookies writing us off that we're going to be in the bottom third with the bookies writing us off. But we're used to that. And we love being an underdog as well. We don't mind being an underdog, and people will always write us off. But it doesn't matter about that. We have to focus on ourselves. We know what we're capable of. Get some new players in. Big year for some of these youngsters that are coming through as well, which Neil Warnock did touch upon in the press conference. Like Kian Harrott, Radoni's going to have a massive season this season. And by the way, happy birthday to Jack. It is his birthday today. I did actually make sure I put out a post for him earlier on. But yeah, happy birthday to him. or I call him the Star Boy, as many people know. And yeah, so yeah, I want to get. But yeah, like I said, big year like Ben Jackson, Diarra, you know, players like that, Headley. We've got some very good young talent in the ranks here, you know, and Neil Warnock did emphasise that as well, that he's going to give, you know, the likes of Harrop, you know, in pre-season, he's going to give him minutes, he's going to see what he thinks about him fully. So we saw what he did in glimpses, but he's going to be able to have a good look at him now in pre-season. He's going to be able to, you know, he's going to be able to do that. He'll have that luxury. Whereas when he came in, he didn't really have the luxury to do that, did he? He had to it was just about getting results and things like that. But obviously, he did utilise the likes of Harry and many other youngsters as well throughout last season too. So he said we have a great club and the fans are with us. Every conversation I've had with Jake has been positive. The club know I'm not going to spend more money stupidly, which is important. This club needs a bit of stability. I spoke to Kevin. We hope we can finalise everything in the next few weeks, and I've got nothing but positive vibes from him. I hope I can knit everything together and we can have a great season. It will be a tough season, but I think everyone that we will play will have a tough game. Which, yeah, he's right. He's right. We're going to make it tough for teams, and we're going to have a game plan, as we know, and you know, work to our strengths and cause other teams problems. But yeah, Neil Warnock went on to say, I don't think money is the answer to everything, which spot on, because I do believe that as well. You can have all the money in the world, you've got to spend it wisely. And if you do have all the money in the world, it's not really... The thing is with football fans, or football in general, everyone glorifies money. And yes, it helps, I'm not saying it doesn't, but it doesn't guarantee success, because you have to spend the money on the correct players. You have to bring the right characters in for the dressing room, because you can spend, you know, I'm going off topic here, but you can spend whatever you want on a player, but what they may come in and disrupt the dressing room. So I totally agree with him on that aspect. Money is not everything. And I think football fans get caught up in the fact that they seem to think money is everything. And it isn't. It isn't at all. The budget we've got is a nice budget to have. I don't know the budget, but I'm just saying it will be a fairly nice budget to have. It's not absolutely ridiculous budget, but it's the budget that we can work with to get in the requirements that is needed to really improve the squad and make us competitive next season. That's the most crucial part about it. He also says all the teams we are talking about have got major issues. I think anything is possible. The main thing is to steady the club and steady the ship. Jake has come in and looked at all areas where we can improve. It's my job to try and get a reaction from the players. I have given 2 or 3 young lads an opportunity in pre-season at other clubs. He went on to say he had Sam Byron at Leeds. He had never played a game before. I took him to Cornwall, he said. So, yeah. And I think that the thing is with Neil, yeah, you know what you're going to get with him, don't you? You know what you're going to get. And we all know that every single person, and if he didn't, then I'm not sure what you were thinking, but every single person, I believe, wants to keep Neil Warnock at the end of last season. They did, if it was possible. It didn't look possible at the time, so the fact that he's come in is a massive advantage. And look, what can I say? We've got the best manager in the Championship, and I'm not just saying it. No manager in that division has done what Neil Warnock has done. Therefore, he is the best. You know, he's had his fair share of promotions, as well as keeping teams up as well. Let's not forget. So, the guy has it all. He's been there, seen it, done it. You can't have a better person in the dugout than him, and that's where we have a massive advantage on other teams as well next season too. For me, But yeah, Neil Warnock said also, it was just good to come back last year and put smiles on their faces. It will be a difficult task. You've seen the teams coming down and the teams coming up. We're going to be limited financially wise. I've got a bit of hay fever about it, which is why I'm twitching my nose. Apologies. But yeah, but you know, we are limited financially. But limited doesn't mean we haven't got anything to spend. We've got, like I said, we've got some funds to spend. It's just about using it wisely. And like I said, Neil Warnock did say about the loan market, we need to utilise the loan market because you can get some very good players in from the loan market. Especially if you want to look at the Premier League teams, any teams that may feel like players need experience in this division and Championship, then and players that have the quality to be able to do, to play for us, then bring some loan players in as well. So we're going to spend some money on players by buying them, but we're also going to have to look at the loan market, which is what we will do. We are not going to bring in loads of players, he says. We're going to have to do it in a sensible way, which, that's what you've got to do. It's the best way to do it. Now, we have said, obviously, about Neil Warnock, of how we didn't envision him coming back. But he didn't think he didn't either. He didn't think he would either. He says, I didn't envisage carrying on again. Everything that happened at the end of last season, the emotion and the support that we got. Talking to Jake over the last few weeks, it all seems right, he said. We've got a special attachment to town. It's been a difficult time behind the scenes. It's great for me to calm the waters. It gives the club a bit of breathing space. It's been a bit hectic. Gosh, sorry about this guy, just my nose. It's just hay fever season. Summer's a nightmare if you're a hay fever sufferer. That's true. But yeah, again, it was so lovely to obviously hear the gaffer again. And obviously, we're going to look at a few other quotes as well throughout the press conference. Back over to Jake's messages now. This club is in good hands, he says. We believe in the future and we are excited about what we can accomplish this season and in the years ahead. I know this process has been slow, but rest assured that it will be done soon. Continue to support the club, keep listening, and we want to make your match day experience days any better. We haven't had this level of positivity and communication like this before, of somebody coming in and saying it from the outset. And I know it's only words and we need to see it, but this guy seems very sincere, like Kevin does. And we have to trust the process. We have to trust these people, even though we don't really know much about them at the moment. We have to see past that we don't know much about them and just look. These people are wanting the club to thrive again. We want to be in a better place. We want to be successful. We have ambition. We have that we are going in a direction. We didn't have any of that last season. We didn't have any. The people at the club last season was just happy to just accept mediocrity. Accept, you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, really. Does it? It doesn't matter what happens on the pitch. As long as I'm picking up a wage, that's how it feels. That's how it felt. As long as I'm picking up a wage, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the football club. The football club is at the heart of what everything it should be about. And the fact, I said it, we need direction, we need ambition. And even though we haven't had we've kind of heard a bit of direction and ambition at what the club wants to go in the press conference today. But this is on the beginning, isn't it? We have to see what happens, and both things are being put in place, and there is a clear plan. A plan is important, as we know. So, yeah, let's go back into the comments here. Ryan, do you think there'll be any? I don't know, Horace. I don't know. I mean, I would love for it to happen, but. I mean, on this mad day, anything is possible. So maybe we will get an announcement. Maybe an 8 o'clock announcement. maybe at 8 o'clock there'll be an announcement, or maybe it won't be today. It's hard to say. But I think it's just a matter of. I think the key thing here is that it's just a matter of time before he's done now. I think, and I think that's really positive. Even though it's not official yet, it pretty much feels like it's pretty much there. It's just a matter of time, and it will go through. It has gone through, obviously, the EFL checks and everything else. That's fine. It's just one regulatory body that needs accepting, and then we're there. So, yeah, if it happens tonight, it'll just top off an incredible day. But if it doesn't, I'm sure it'll happen in the coming days or weeks. But I think ultimately, though, despite all this, I think the things that we need, obviously the players and the recruitment and things like that, will be happening. It'll all be underway. We don't have to wait until Kevin's we can still put the steps in place to get sorted, ready for the season, really. So I think we'll just have to see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it will happen tonight. It does, and that's what I said earlier. It's so nice to feel like I don't want to get too carried away either, and it's hard not to, isn't it? But the future all of a sudden looks really bright and exciting, doesn't it? And I never thought we'd be saying this. If you would have said that, it's stark contrast to if you talk about where we were this time last year at this point. It's so the fact that we're in that moment where it's on opposite ends of the spectrum here. Success on the field. I'm telling you, success on the field. It's coming. It is coming. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna say it's not, because I do feel like it is. Honestly, I do. I feel positive. Let's have a look here. Yeah, because in the press conference as well, obviously, Jake said about the long-term plan. So there's a long-term plan already, and there's a short-term plan. But the fact that they're already planning, and the planning was way underway, way into the mix, and way being thought of for weeks now, obviously. But he said about the long-term plan, we will very much work together on transition and what the future holds and where we will go from the club. Neil will play a big part in that. We can't thank Neil enough for staying on for all the right reasons, not for personal reasons, but to help the club. Which, yeah, absolutely correct. Neil Warnock, obviously, let's get back to Neil Warnock's quotes a minute. He said, I so enjoyed the challenge. It would be nice to get 32 games to get to 1,650. Wow, that is incredible for him to get to that amount, isn't it? Oh, gosh. He likes a Joe, doesn't he, Neil? He says, don't sack me until January, he said. It's a hell of a lot of games. So, yeah, he likes to add a bit of humour in whatever he says. Always makes me laugh and smile, but, yeah. Jack Redone to ball out next season. Again, it's not just the fact that it is the fact that Warnock's come back, and we absolutely love him. He's the perfect guy for the job. We know this, but it's the fact that the players will get to learn even more from him as well, and they will develop even more. And like I say, we'll see the like of Jack Redone, who, by the way, we saw the transformation when Neil Warnock came in. Not just Jack Redone, but we're talking about Jack Redone for the moment. The transformation he did on Jack and many other players in the team, he's only going to keep developing and improving these players. And the work rate, the passion, the hunger to succeed in these young players like Jack, you can tell Jack is a winner. You can tell he loves to win. He's prepared to put in the work off the field as well. And I believe that he will. He will, obviously. He's obviously had a little break, but he'll be back in the gym. He'll be back working hard, because you can just tell he's just that kind of guy that just wants to keep getting better. That's players you want in a team, by the way. Players that are happy, that want to keep getting better. Not the players that are just happy to just coast along and not really care. then they don't want players like that in the dressing room. But Jack, like I say, his improvement, his first season in the Championship last season, wasn't bad going the stats that he came with, let me tell you. And now in his second season, we've got, for me, he's a superstar, and he's only going to keep getting better, really. But yeah, obviously, Warnock was asked about Corona and Ward. Obviously, he did say he was hopeful the pair will sign new deals. Talks are still ongoing, he said. So for me, I think these two deals will get over the line. Will happen now. Warnock's come back for sure. Yeah, and then obviously more quotes. So yeah, I forgot to mention as well. So obviously Ian Bennett it was announced in the press conference, Ian Bennett will be coming as the goalkeeping coach. He's worked with Warnock, like I said earlier, before many a times. And he also, anybody that obviously has followed the club for a number of years, will know that Ian Bennett actually played for us as well in goal. So we know him very well, and he knows the club. So again, a perfect fit. And we've got Carl Serrat coming to the club as well. I believe, again, he worked with Neil at Cardiff, but I could be wrong, I can't remember now, but he's worked with me, they know each other very well, and the most crucial part about this is they know what Neil Warnock expects of them, you know, and as much as we're upset about maybe Paul Clement leaving, you know, we have to trust Neil. We have to trust Neil. Neil wanted his own staff coming in. That's the bottom line, and we have to respect that, and we have to understand that as well. And but also thanking Paul for his efforts as the goalkeeping coach too. But yeah, Joseph says, I saw in the press conference that the club will hear about it. I think, yeah, that's what I kind of said. Obviously, we'll hear things. That'll be sorted soon, I'm sure. Like I said, both of them will want to stay. Karom, obviously, we know how much of an impact he made back in last season. And I know that people are saying he's playing for. Some people did say that he was just playing for a contract and all this and that. But he knows if he signs, he knows what Neil Warnock expects. His standards won't be dropping, because if they drop, then he'll be out of the team. So for me, him and Neil Warnock are the perfect fit together, is what I'm trying to say. And you know, Kroma will not be allowed to have his standards dropped. So for me, we have to bring him back. And obviously Danny Ward, definitely a player that will, if he can keep injury free, will still have a very good season for us. We can still have a very good season. But I do think that, you know, Neil did stress as well in the press conference, I remember, that he did say that we do need, you know, one or two at least one, but maybe two strikers to come in, which obviously is what we need. You know, we need depth in that area. We know that how much we struggle to score goals a lot of the time last season, and you could probably say that it's because of the way we set out a lot of the time. Obviously, under one, we scored a hell of a lot more goals, but we still need more quality in the final third. We know this, so we're just going to have to see what happens there. But it's all covered. We're in safe hands with the king. Long live the king. And Ian says, mate, I could cry. Literally how far we've gone. Throwing Scotland on the bus, then getting buzzed. Sent them straight to fourth place, queuing on safety, and now having one back again. It's never dull being a town one, is it? It's an up and down roller coaster being a town fan. But we wouldn't have it any other way, would we? So it's ours, and for me, the future, like I said earlier, the future looks bright. It's exciting, isn't it? It's an exciting one. we look to be in very safe hands with the people that have got. Obviously, the CEO looks very good. Now, I think there was asked about this in the press conference if a sporting director would be appointed, and the CEO did say that he wasn't sure yet. That decision is still yet to be made. But yeah, maybe they may feel that we don't need one in that case, and I'm all for that. I think ultimately we want to have that trust back into it, because I think the trust that we've had, well, from my perspective, I know many fans feel like this as well. The trust that we've had towards the club has been quite bad, hasn't it, really? But I think this is the part where we draw a line, and this is at the start of a new journey, a new era, and the trust will develop again, and we will get back into a good place. I think it's fantastic that the CEO as well stressed that, look, we want to listen to the fans, we want to hear your thoughts. We haven't had that being said to us for years. So again, for him to say that as well, that means a lot to us, doesn't it? It means a lot, because it feels like we're valued, we're becoming, we're being valued again, ultimately, So it's good that the club will listen to us, because I think the past 12 months especially, we certainly haven't felt listened to, have we, at all? In no shape, in no way at all. So the fact that is change, that all changing, should I say, not changing, is fantastic. But yeah, I know I've spoken a lot tonight, and I know obviously, we've got through a lot of things. Hopefully it's been an insightful one. Obviously, if people do want to come in and have their say, then do let me know, and I will post a link if anybody wants to come in and have their say about, obviously, an eventful few days. Obviously, today has been a very hectic one as well, a very special day. Yeah, it's a day that we will start to feel, it will start, this is where the excitement goes now, because I feel like it's taken a long time, hasn't it, to get to this point where we were waiting about what was happening, with no communication at all and things. But now the ball is rolling. The things are starting to happen that is bringing that excitement, and I just can't wait to see Neil Warnock back in that dugout again, in his town tracksuit, and we'll be singing Neil Warnock's Bow Me Army and backing him all the way. And yeah, this season will be a special one, as I said, I believe. If they listen to us, let's be sensible now. But yeah, I love your banter, your jokes that you bring to the chat. I mean, it's one of those. But I have a question. What do you think of Neil Warnock shirt he was wearing? I mean, obviously it was a green top, wasn't it? It was all right. I think it was okay. I don't know if I'm a really fond. I don't know if I like green that much, really. I don't know if I liked. I don't know. I'm in two minds about it, really. But it was okay. It wasn't the worst I've seen. But I'm not really a big lover of green kits, really, if I'm honest with you. Horace, if you still watch, will know. I didn't like the green Man United shirt last year. I thought that was awful. But yeah, you will join, George. Okay. Let me just. We're going to wrap up anyway soon, guys. Anyway, so obviously we'll. Obviously, maybe. George, if you do want to come on, you're more than welcome to, and anybody that wants to come on, I'm going to post a link, but we are going to have to finish up in the next 10 minutes. I don't like to keep these too long, really. I know I've been going on for a while. Now, anybody that does join has to have their camera on, and that is it. And yeah, I have to know who you are as well. I'm not adding anybody in. Yeah, just bear that in mind. But yeah, there is the link if you do want to join. Come and have your say on the news. We've had plenty of news. And I also liked about what the CEO said about the message to the fans as well, of how he said the club is in good hands, and yeah, like I say, they want to keep listening to us, and they want to. The match day experience as well was really nice to see as well, that he wanted to. We've got George in now. George, are you with us? Hello there, mate. How are you? How's things?
I'm not too bad, thanks, mate.
Come on, talk. You've got plenty to say. Over the last few days, it's been a very hectic one. Obviously, changes that have been made. How talk to me? How do you feel? How excited do you feel? Because I know I've been waffling on for a while, but what are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling absolutely shocked. I mean,
yeah.
thought he was he's come out well. We're
having sound issues, George.
Saying he's coming back.
George.
Yeah.
Are you having connection issues? It's just cutting out a lot of the time. I can't really hear what you're saying. Sorry.
Hold on.
Yeah, just.
Get me right now, quickly. Yeah, we never thought we'd get him back, but it's happened. So
it happened. The dream. We got what we wanted. One more year, and we've got it. So it's just incredible. And yeah, it sets up a very exciting couple of weeks, and into the new season as well. And we have that positivity. Even though we had a lot of positivity to go back in the last season, obviously getting surviving things, I think the excitement is ramped up even more now, and I think that we can really, So, but yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, what are your early impressions of this new CEO? Because to me, he does seem like a very sincere person. He does seem like he knows what he's talking about, which is important.
Yeah, he does look good. I mean, he can probably definitely help us out now. Obviously, now Lee Bromby's left. So I think he could really help us out with everything that's been going on at the club and everything. And now he's working with new Warnock as well, so that could be quite a big boost for the club as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're all excited about. We're all excited for this, and we're, like I said, I just can't wait to see Neil Warnock back in that dugout. The first time we'll see him back there, I'll be quite emotional actually. I'm quite emotional. It just means a lot, because I think the fact that he said that he's never had a reception that we gave him ever. He said that. He said that I think he was taken aback, and he was very emotional actually in the press conference this afternoon as well. Talking about it, of how he couldn't believe the response he got. He was completely overwhelmed by it all, and he's never had any. That was the most massive reception he's had, and yeah, he's never had a feeling like it before. So yeah. Like I said, he deserves every bit of response that he had last season, and we wanted to show how much we cared and loved him really, and yeah. But I think, unless you've got anything else to add, we're going to wrap up here. But yeah,
we're all good. I mean, let's just hope for a good season. Don't want a season like last season.
Have a good season. I know what you're saying, yeah, but. Like I said earlier, the massive difference this season is the foundations are there ready to succeed and have a very good season. Last season, the foundations weren't there. There were people in the club that weren't doing the right thing. They shouldn't even be in the club. The recruitment as went along was shocking. Like I said, the foundation is for all to succeed now, I believe, and that's what I said earlier. So I don't think it's a question of we don't want another season. We won't have another season like last season with this foundation, in my opinion. And I know that, you know, I'm maybe speaking too soon. I'm not. I know because I can see things in place. There's a direction. There's an ambition. There's a plan of action that will translate onto the pitch. The recruitment will be good. We'll get players in we need, and we're going to be good to go when we start the season. I'm really confident of that. So, yeah. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Big up to George for coming in as well briefly. And yeah, it's been a good one. It's been good. I've been waffling on for the past hour, but it's been good to come on and speak about this and give my reactions and thoughts. But yeah, we asked for one more year, and we got one more year. Absolutely buzzing, and bring on another. We've got 12 months or whatever, however long, 10 months of Warnock the ball, and we're very lucky to say that, and we're very appreciative and very thankful of Neil and to Sharon. Let's not forget Sharon for approving. But yeah, big up to everyone that's been doing. Everybody that's in the chat, continue to support the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. We know that. We will be back on Friday. Unless there is another development, which maybe there will be, who knows. We will be back on Friday for the kit review. I will be buying the home shirt on Friday. I'll go down on Friday morning and get the kit, and I'll have it with me, and I'll do a review of it on screen, and we can talk about other things as well, about town as well, depending on what happens over the next few days as well. So really looking forward to that. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to get the new shirt. Like I said, the shirt as well. I mean, George, do you like the shirt? Gold for promotion, do you think?
Yeah, it's good. Gold means promotion. Gold means promotion.
I can taste promotion. I can smell it. But yeah, we're getting a bit carried away, but it does look very, very promising. Big up to Ollie. You've just joined us at the back end of the stream, but big up for tuning in, for coming in here. And Joseph, big up Ryan, great stream. Neil wants that. Indeed. But yeah, we're gonna go now. So, like I said, thank you for watching. Enjoy your evening, whatever you get up to. And we'll see you whenever the next one is. Definitely Friday, potentially tomorrow if there is an ownership announcement in the next 24 hours. But we'll just have to wait and see. We don't know, do we? But yeah, stay tuned for more content on this channel. And we'll see you next time. But as always, up the town. And we can actually say Neil Warnock's Barmy Alley.
Neil Warnock's Barmy Alley.
One more year. We love you, Gaffer. Right, we'll see you soon, guys. Anyway, take care.
Take care.